Hi everyone, Kelt here, bringing you my thoughts on the British royal family and Harry and Meghan. And today I'm going to talk a bit about the rumours that the House of Lords are having meetings about removing the titles from Harry and Meghan. And I'm going to talk a bit today about the actual House of Lords and some history around when they've removed titles in the past. So the House of Lords is a cornerstone of the United Kingdom's parliamentary system. It's an institution where history and modern governance intertwine, comprising roughly of 800 unelected peers, life peers, hereditary peers, and Church of England bishops. It plays a vital role in scrutinising legislation, refining bills, and holding the government accountable. Recent speculation, amplified by posts on X and various news outlets, suggests the Lords may be considering a drastic step, stripping Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, of their royal titles. This is not just gossip, it's a debate that touches on power dynamics, legal authority, and the monarchy's place in a rapidly changing world. So let's look into this. We'll dive into the Lords' workings, their power relative to the monarch, and the latest title stripping discussions, and the grounds for such an action, with a particular focus on a shocking revelation from Harry's memoir Spare that has fueled accusations of treason. We'll also explore other reasons for title removal, their applicability to Harry and Meghan, and the legal versus moral dimensions. The House of Lords operates as the upper chamber of Parliament, distinct from the elected House of Commons. Its members, appointed or hereditary, bring expertise and perspective, debating bills through multiple readings, proposing amendments, and delaying legislation, though the Commons holds ultimate authority under the Parliament Acts of 1911 and 1949. The Lords' role is advisory, not decisive, governed by conventions like the Salisbury Convention, which prevents blocking manifesto commitments. This structure is critical when considering their potential to initiate a bill to revoke titles. As such, an action would require coordination with the Commons and royal assent. Compared to the monarch, the Lords wield more legislative influence, but both are constrained. King Charles III's powers are ceremonial, rooted in constitutional tradition. He can grant or revoke honours, including royal titles like HRH or the Dukedom of Sussex, but revoking a peerage or dukedom requires parliamentary legislation, as these are legal constructs established by letters patent. The Lords could propose a bill to strip titles, but it needs Commons approval and royal assent, which the King is obliged to grant. So neither the Lords nor the monarch can unilaterally remove Harry and Meghan's titles, highlighting a system where legislative and symbolic powers intersect but are not absolute. So are these title stripping talks real? X posts like at Lady Debbie Sixes on May the 20th claim the Lords have a shocking petition to remove Harry's titles, echoed by at Ollie London TV and others. News articles such as Marcus May's 16th 2025 piece suggest confidential discussions involving Prince William and government officials aim to erase Harry from the succession and strip titles, though parliamentary action is needed. The Express.co.uk on May the 10th notes Charles's inability to act alone, reinforcing the legislative hurdle. yet no Hansard records or official Lords statements confirm active debates as of May the 20th. The buzz seems driven by public outrage, particularly over Meghan's use of HRH, the Duchess of Sussex, on a 2025 gift card, violating her 2020 agreement with Queen Elizabeth II. While sentiment is strong, evidence of imminent Lords' action remains speculative, though I believe it takes time, and this is why we're not seeing anything yet, because it is 3 organisations that need to reach an agreement. The Lords' process for title removal would involve introducing a bill, debated through readings, amended, and sent to the Commons. For those outside of the UK, the Commons is our House of Commons, which is our government. If passed, it requires royal assent. The Titles Deprivation Act of 1917 is a precedent, stripping titles from 4 peers, like the Duke of Cumberland for fighting for Germany in World War I, initiated in the Commons and debated in the Lords. It shows the collaborative legislative path. Unlike Harry and Meghan's case, those were clear-cut treason cases, not reputational disputes, making their situation less straightforward. What grounds could justify removing Harry and Meghan's titles? Let's examine treason, constitutional crisis, misuse of titles, and public disrepute, with a deep dive into a spare revelation fueling treason accusations. Treason, defined under the Treason Act 1351 as compassing or imagining the monarch's death or levying war against them, is a grave charge. In Spare, Harry recounts a military training exercise near Sandringham where he piloted a Typhoon jet, locked onto his father's, then Prince Charles's, grey Audi, and contemplated targeting it. And I hasten to add here that we know that Prince Harry does not have a pilot's licence. He is only a co-pilot. So if I refer to him as piloting this, bear that in mind, that I don't strictly mean him. He writes, "The Typhoon tracked Pa, did a low pass straight over him, almost shattering the windows of his Audi, but ultimately spared him. On my orders, it went on to blow a silver barn to smithereens." This passage, detailed in a January the 12th, 2023 Daily Mail article, sparked outrage. Ex-posts, like @Meghan's Mole, on January the 24th, 24, called it a threat to kill his own father, labelling it treasonous. @Lemon Trifles March the 12th, 2023 post deems Harry dangerous, and @Data Geek Brandy's May the 18th, 25 post argues it disqualifies him from the line of succession. Public reaction on X is visceral. @FrontGrid101 on May the 17th claims Harry plotted to blow up his father, suggesting it would have been a beheading offence historically. @4448Cantor on May the 15th references the incident to argue Harry should be barred from Charles's funeral. Reddit discussions, like a January the 10th, 2023 R. St. Meghan Markle thread, question the logistics, noting no missiles were loaded, but still call it bizarre and indicative of a deeply unwell mind. Some users, like Strix the Owl, clarify it was a war game, not homicidal. But others argue the imagery of targeting the future king is reckless. Headlines like express.co.uk's January the 12th, 2023, Prince Harry reveals how he sent fighter jet after Father Charles's car, but I spared him. Amplify the controversy. Legally, this doesn't meet treason's threshold. The exercise was simulated with no intent to harm. Harry's role, as noted in Spare, was operating the Apache's sights, not flying typhoons, raising doubts about the story's accuracy. Critics, like a Reddit user, question how a jet without missiles could blow up a barn, suggesting exaggeration. Historically, treason led to title loss in cases like the Duke of Northumberland's 1553 execution for plotting against Mary I. Harry's narrative, while provocative, lacks the intent or action of such cases, making treason a weak ground. Constitutional crisis is another potential justification. A crisis arises when the monarchy threatens governance or public trust. Harry and Meghan's 2020 exit, Oprah interview, Netflix series and Spare have been accused of destabilising the monarchy. In Spare, Harry alleges William physically attacked him and Charles prioritised Camilla's image. The Oprah interview's racism allegations about Archie's skin tone rocked the palace. A May 2025 YouGov poll shows Meghan's US approval at 41% positive, 25% negative, trailing other royals. Some argue their actions erode the monarchy's unifying role, but a true crisis, like Edward VIII's 1936 abdication, required legal restructuring. Harry and Meghan, no longer working royals, do not pose a structural threat, only a reputational one. Misuse of titles is a stronger case. The 2020 agreement barred Harry and Meghan from using HRH commercially. Meghan's 2025 gift card, signed HRH the Duchess of Sussex, and her Instagram posts using royal titles, like one with a Ukrainian official, violate this. Ex-users, like at Ollie London TV, call it exploitation. Public disrepute ties in, with their Netflix series with Love Meghan and Meghan's as Ever brand seen as monetising royal status. Compared to Prince Andrew, who kept his Duke of York title, despite more serious scandals, their infractions are public but less severe. The legal versus moral debate is tricky. Legally, revoking the Dukedom of Sussex requires an Act of Parliament, a complex process needing common support and royal assent. The 1917 Act targeted clear traitors, unlike the Sussex's ambiguous case. Morally, critics view their actions as disloyal, breaching the monarchy's code of duty. Harry's Spare anecdote, even if exaggerated, paints a reckless image. Supporters argue they faced unfair scrutiny, citing Meghan's 2020 alleged miscarriage, linking royal pressures to personal trauma, so stripping titles could escalate a family feud, risking further monarchy damage. I don't see how that's possible. I think they've pushed the monarchy as far as they can. And let's not forget Meghan's loose lips, where she, to a group of friends, said within earshot of people connected to the royals that she and Harry were just one plane crash away from the throne. So if that's not a treasonous comment, I don't know what is. Historically, title removals like Robert de Vere's in the 14th century for treason involved direct threats. Harry and Meghan's case, driven by media and public sentiment, lacks such clarity. The Lords may debate, and it may take some time, but without overwhelming support, action is unlikely. Will they have the support they need? Why are these meetings taking place? if they were not of the view that they could actually take action. So, let me know what you think. Do you think that the House of Lords will act and that the House of Commons and King Charles will follow through with this? King Charles will have no choice really but to agree. If it goes from the House of Lords to the House of Commons and they pass this, King Charles, it would just be a token gesture after the decision is made. So let me have your thoughts. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe, like and ding the bell to receive alerts for more videos like this. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.